Let's see, we are quite full today. There's plenty of space. Let me just double check for everyone to fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, we're technically waiting on 15 more people to come. So if you could, there's lots of room up here. I know there's lots of room in the back, but just in case, if you could sneak just an inch or two closer, maybe to the right or left, so that a mat can slide its way in. A Tuesday. Well, it's always, it's like 15 on the internet, and then it might be 10. Yeah, which we love. Say hi. Oh, where's she? Oh my goodness. She bopped.
A week ago. Like all of a sudden.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it, so this is.
How are you?
Oh my gosh, honey.
Yeah.
You feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel great.
Good.
Just this way.
Yeah.
This way. Otherwise, I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, tall, I assume. Baby's gonna be tall coming out. It's got some tall jeans in there. Leela's jeans. Do you think she knows what's going on? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I would love to think that she's like deeply.
I think say yes. But she's just in touch with what she can find on the roads.
Yeah, exactly. It's like chicken donuts.
Yay. All right, lots of room for everyone. And we'll use all of the props today. So if you don't have 2 blocks, a strap for sure, we'll definitely use. Blankets a great idea because we'll do a lot of stuff on our knees. So if you want some extra cushioning, always an option. And therapy balls. We'll do some rolling towards the end of class. So Kale and I can bring those around later or now. Ay, ay, ay. Yes, perfect there. That's a spot, and then Kale will move so you can also, there's space up here. Hi. In that basket right there. Yeah, and the therapy, you're good, welcome. And those therapy balls are right next to it too. You can grab one of those. Thank you. Hi.
2 blocks, blanket strap.
You got it, perfect. And therapy balls, which are right there. Mm-hmm. If we could, do you mind coming here just because the camera is right there for folks at home? And that's if you have enough space. Thank you. I saw you. Like, there's people who I've seen. Hi, Amy. All right, friends. In theory, Amy, were there a bunch of folks downstairs? No? Okay. In theory, my sweet friends, we're waiting on, not that many, but 5 more people. And they might come in ever so slightly afterwards, and there is plenty of room for everyone to fit. I promise you there's been more people in the studio and no foot has gone in the head. But if you could, just take a look over to your right and left and squeak another inch or 2 closer. I think we can fit one, if you don't mind, right in between. If you want to come up here, between Sharon. There's some space up here. There's room, I promise. Thank you, everyone. And then we'll use all of the props and then some more, except for the bolster. I don't have an agenda with the bolster, but if you want to grab it, you can. Is this the pre-debate class? To like softly, I don't know, energize or black out before whatever's going to happen tonight. Did you hear that she stayed in Rittenhouse last night? It was crazy. Oh, which is right where you live. Yeah. Okay, it's happening. I taught yesterday at noon, did not even realize that the debate was in Philadelphia, and luckily everyone in class knew what was happening. It is across from the WHYY in the Independence something something something. Thank you so much. Constitution Hall Center. It's at 9 p.m. And I know that I will be asleep watching the reruns on TikTok tomorrow morning. But if anyone will be watching it, I hope this class helps do whatever it needs to do.
Today was supposed to be like my first day, like fully back in, like mostly fully back in office, but our office is right next to the Constitution Center.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Don't come today. I just came from work, like right here. Yeah, they were like, try not to like it.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Well, we have lots of fun stuff to get to, non-debate related. But I'm really happy you all are here together. There's, anytime you sign up for class and you're new to class or the studio, a cute little blue star comes up to your name on my list. So I saw a bunch of blue stars today. So in case we are new to each other and I didn't get a chance to say hi to you, my name is Anisha. And this is Kale, who's so sweetly here with us for as long as we can have them assisting and walking around. So the way that class is set up is that I'll be practicing from the mat so people at home can have a visual, but she'll be walking around, not stepping on anyone, I promise. There's rows and space. But if you have questions or things to ask or any insight, please feel free to use her for any resource, because what a phenomenal gift it is to have her in the room with us. Hi. How about up front? Unless you see another spot that you're privy to, yeah. Okay, there's 1,000,000,001 announcements, not just yoga related, but world related, but I'll get to those after we start to practice, because lots of fun stuff to get to. But we are, for all of September, and for the rest of the year really, you'll have to forgive me for beginning of class will be a little chattier than normal. Normally from January until August, the intro is quite quick, but September, October, November, and December are a great time of year in the yogic and Hindu tradition because there's so many festivals and celebrations that are happening that tie directly into our practice. So just last week, on September 6th and 7th, was the holiday of one of the great gods, the lords of yoga, who is getting more, you see him peppered all throughout the studio here. Sometimes he's in the bathroom downstairs, sometimes he's in the gift shop. But he is the god who has the head of a mature elephant. Hi, Natasha, come on in. You want to come right? If you see a spot, feel free to go anywhere, but there's also some space up here. He has the head of a mature elephant and the body of a very large baby boy where his belly is always out. And his name is Ganesh. Oh, he's also, I always like to point out that he's on the camera because he is known to be the remover of obstacles. So he's the one that you place in thresholds, in things, in pathways to help remove the obstacle that's in the way. So Ganesh, Ganpati, he has many different forms and iterations. Like I mentioned, he is the one that we call upon when we're about to embark on a new journey or do something that has special significance, because he's the one that we call to remove and clear the obstacles out of the way. And I taught a workshop about him on Sunday, and Alyssa, who came to class very sweetly, was like, oh, so he's the boundary elephant, the elephant that sets and creates boundaries. And I was like, that's exactly what he is, because he's so often placed in thresholds of doors. The story of his origin is that he's placed in the threshold of his mom's home to prevent people from coming in and coming out, to protect her. And he is the one who designates and determines what comes in and what comes out of that threshold, and then what also is let in and what is let out, because those are two very different things. And so he's the one that we call upon to see what it is that we're willing, what boundaries we're willing to set, what boundaries we're willing to loosen in order to achieve the new tasks that we're looking to achieve. So why am I telling you all this? Today's story about him that ties into our practice is about the time in which he played a little prank on the moon. And so what he did, he was walking and he had just eaten a giant bowl of sweets. And that's the offering that you give him. You give him sweets of laddu or modaks, and that's the offering that you give to each and every one of your family members when you're going from place to place. And he'd eaten his entire portion and share of it. And so his belly was enormous, and he was waddling and going from place to place, and he tripped. Something happened. And the moon saw him. The moon is her name is Chanda, and she was in the sky at every given hour, and she saw him, and she kind of laughed. She made fun of him a little, and she was like, oh, you silly thing, like you ate so many sweets and you tumbled, like how could you? And Ganesh got a little upset, and he said, I'm gonna set a curse on you, where you'll never be able to come out again. And she said, okay, I didn't mean this. Also, some of us that have been practicing together know this already. I tell my stories very casually. I've learned them from the comics that my parents gave me, the stories that my family has told me, but if you're interested in more of a classical version of them, I have lots of resources to send you to. So anyway, the moon, she realized what her mistake was, and she said, please, please, I'm so sorry. I won't do it again. Can you let me make up for it? And he says, okay, I understand that you're sorry, but the thing that I will do is I will only let you come in phases. I will only let you wax and wane. And so that's the origin story of why the moon isn't full all of the time, but it comes in its different variations, and it's connected to this great Lord of boundaries. We're going to practice versions of half moon today and move towards a whole series of binds for the whole month, because there's nothing quite like a bind to wrap yourself into yourself to see where you can create a little bit more space. Please take breaks, drink lots and lots of water. I'll turn the AC on. I know it's getting toasty in here, but we love climate control. The heat's going to turn on soon, metaphorically. But thank you for coming. I'm happy we're here together. We'll get started when you're ready in a comfortable seat, however that looks. You're more than welcome to start lying all the way down. You can start seated with your legs crossed. You might be seated on your knees. Perhaps you have some props underneath your tush, just so your hips can be higher than your knees to give your low back some extra length. But as you close or soften your eyes, begin to listen for your breath. When we close our eyes, it gives us a moment to see ourselves more clearly than before. To let each breath gently dissolve the day and afternoon that was. Each breath lets you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after makes space for what has yet to come. So as you continue to notice your breath, can you let it naturally begin to deepen? Letting each inhale move from the nose, down into your belly, and up into your heart. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very crown of your head. Continue with a few more of those breaths at your pace. Letting each breath move in, back, down, and wide. And each exhale offers itself up and out through every direction. As you pause here in this threshold that you've created for yourself, from the day that was to where you are now. Can you notice what is it that you're willing to let in, what you're willing to let out, and what you're willing to keep in, and what you're willing to keep out? So as we start our time and our practice here with each other, with 3 more rounds of that same breath, take a moment to place your hands to anywhere that feels like center for you, on your body or in front of your heart, in a moment of self-reverence. If your hands are in Anjali Mudra, you might pull your thumbs back to touch your heart as you lift your heart to your thumbs to meet yourself where you are. Wait for your next inhale as it fills you up. And exhale to offer that breath out. 2 more times on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your breath. And now, keeping that attention as best as you can, gently release your hands, blink your eyes open, and we'll meet in tabletop today. If we could, welcome, glad you're here. Can we move you to here, just because the camera's right above you and I don't want it to get bunked. And this is perfect if you got some room. Kayla and I can bring some props around to you as we start to move about, but find your way to all 4s when you're ready in a tabletop position. And have your hands come as wide as your mat. So take up a little extra space, spread your fingers as wide as they can go, and tuck all 10 of your toes under, back behind you. Feel the arches of your feet. Begin to round and arch your spine at your pace, just moving with your breath. We'll go through a few rounds of cat and cow, working on your own. See what it feels like to link your body and your breath here together. Thanks, honey. Thanks for coming. Glad you're here. Yeah. No, don't worry. Let's be here for 4 or 5 rounds of breath, just working on your own. Feel free to stay rounded or arched for a few extra breaths. You might take a few breaths in child's pose or letting your shoulders go forward of your wrists. But notice what it feels like to let not just your body move in space, but how your body and your breath can link together. At the bottom of your next exhale, come back through to table, find your way to your hands and your knees. Now watch for your friends and props behind you as we come for a calf stretch. Stretch the right leg back, tuck the right toes under, and reach back through the right heel to see what you feel through the back of the thigh. You can stay still. You might gently rock the heel forward and back. But as the right leg goes back, can you slide the crown of your head forward towards the front of the room to grow longer through the back of your neck? And then after a few breaths on this first side, switch. Stretch back through the left and notice what you feel on the second side. As the heel goes back, whether you're staying still or moving around, let the bottom of your heart, the very top of your head, move forward so all 4 sides of your neck grow longer. Take one more big breath in and exhale to offer that breath out. Come back to table, find your neutral spine, and now walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders, walk your knees back behind your hips, and with your toes tucked under, take as much time or as many breaths as you need to find your way to downward facing dog. As you let yourself arrive in your first down dog of class, take what you need here. Maybe it's staying still. Perhaps you pedal the heels one at a time from side to side. Or you might soften and straighten your legs at the same time. But however you move or however you stay still, take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now just to gauge the distance, on your inhale, come forward to plank pose. Find the top of your push-up. Your knees can be up or down, but let your shoulders be directly over your wrists. If you felt like your hands and feet needed to move far forward and back from down dog to plank, it might mean your down dog is a smidge too short. So take one more breath here. And on your exhale, without moving your hands and feet, lift your tush up and back to take it right back to down dog. Maybe a little longer or slightly different of a stance than you might have normally taken. But with this newfound position, can you take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out? And now lift your heels high, soften your knees, look forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. I like to bring those blocks underneath the hands so the floor comes higher up to meet me. You might widen your feet a couple of inches or even soften your knees so your low back and your hips have some extra space. But as you bow in towards yourself, take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out through every fiber of your being. Now climb your hands up to your hips, stand through your legs, and an inhale to come all the way up to rise as you release your hands. With your feet right under your hips, wait for the next inhale to reach the arms forward and up. On your exhale, soften your knees as you fold over your legs. Inhale to come up halfway to lengthen, let the chest reach forward. And on your exhale, step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. With your knees up or down, bring your hands as wide as your mat if they're not already. And now push the floor away from you as you reach your tailbone towards your heels and think heart forward to grow longer. Big breath in. And exhale to bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Keep those hands nice and wide. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift the chest. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog or table or child's pose for 3 steady breaths. Like I mentioned, deities of this Lord, Ganesh, are often placed in thresholds, in doorways, in front of temples. They're peppered all throughout. But we call to him when we're about to embark on something new to help clear and make the path of least resistance. But just as he's known as the remover of obstacles, he's also the greatest obstacle himself. He's large in size, not looking like everyone else with the head of an elephant and the body of a boy. And so you take notice. And so as you offer it to your breath, take 1 more breath in, let it fill you up. And exhale to let all of that breath go. Lift your heels high, soften your knees, look forward, and come forward to the top of your mat, standing forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen. And as you exhale, fold to bow into yourself. Take a deep breath in to rise, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky. And exhale to let the hands come down by your sides. We'll do it 1 more time. Really follow your breath more than my voice. Inhale to reach up. On your exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Take the entire inhale to come up halfway, grow long through your spine. And as you exhale, we meet in plank pose. In your plank, take a full round of breath in. And as you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for the breath in to rise, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Hug the shoulder blades towards each other. And on your exhale, downward facing dog, or table, or child's pose. 3 more breaths. The series that we just did in the beginning, a sun salutation, a Surya Namaskar. The same series of poses in the same order to initiate the beginning of practice, to move the body in all of its ranges of motion. So as you take notice of what you feel, maybe it's some sensation in your body, maybe it's just remembering your breath a second sooner than I suggest to. But see what you're working with. And when you find your next exhale, lift your heels high, soften your knees, look forward, and come forward to the top of your mat. Wait for the inhale to come up halfway. Let the balls of your feet be heavy. And exhale to fold, bowing into yourself. Take a long breath in to rise. Stand through your legs, touch the sky. And as you exhale, let the hands come by your sides. Now 1 more time, big breath in, reach up, get tall. As you exhale, fold and bow in. Bring your feet a fist or 2 fist width distances apart. And now as you bend your knees, sit your hips back, climb your palms up onto your thighs for chair pose. Check to see that your knees and toes are pointing straight ahead, and let your hips sit lower to the earth as you lift your heart up to the sky. Let's add a twist here. You can bring your hands to the center of your chest, pull your thumbs back to your heart and lift your heart up into your thumbs. Stay here, or bring your right elbow to the inside of your right thigh. Same elbow, same leg as you twist to the left. Now push your thigh into your elbow, push your elbow into your thigh, and as you turn your belly to the left, slide the ears back. Take one more breath in. Stay for your exhale and maybe sit your hips lower to the earth. Now inhale to unwind halfway. Last side, left elbow to the inside of your left thigh as you twist to the right. See if your hips are swaying over to the right like mine are. Lean your butt to the left, turn the belly button to the right, and then slide the ears back to lift your chin. On your inhale, unwind. Come all the way up through center. Reach up, touch the sky. And exhale to fold, bowing into yourself. Now keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot back to catch your lunge. Come up onto your fingertips or high up on blocks on either side of that right foot. And we'll add a few more twists. So with your left hand down, reach your right arm forward towards the front of the room. As if someone's pulling you through the right fingertips, but your right hip is resisting. Tack that right hip back. Take a big breath in here. And as you exhale, let's twist open to the right, a big circle to revolve. Twice more, reach the right arm back and then down. Take a big breath in and exhale to revolve, open to the left or right. One more time, big inhale, reach forward. Now as you exhale, stay twisting open to the right. Can you lift the left thigh higher to the sky? Tack your right front hip back. And then slide the shoulders back as you lean back against yourself. One more breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend into that front thigh. And now inhale to unwind. We'll step it forward, soften the back knee, take all the hops you need for the left foot to meet the right. As you inhale, come up halfway and exhale to fold, bowing in. Other side, left foot forward. Step your right foot back to catch your lunge. Come high up onto fingertops or blocks, and with your right hand down, reach the left arm straight ahead. Get as long as you can here, stretch forward through the left fingers, but try and tack that left hip back. Now big breath in. As you exhale, we twist open to the left. Twice more with your breath, more than my voice. Inhale to reach forward. As you exhale, revolve. See what the shoulder, the wrist, the forearm feels like. And now the next time you twist to the left, stay here. Lift that right back thigh higher up off the ground. Tack your front left hip back, and then lean back against yourself as you take a deeper breath in. One more exhale to let it out, and then inhale to unwind. Lower the hands. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Step back through the left foot. Pedal the heels one at a time. Notice what you feel and see from side to side. And a few more times here together. Inhale through to plank pose. Think tush towards your heels as you slide the heart forward. Big breath in. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for your inhale to rise, Cobra. Hug your palms towards each other. Hug the shoulder blades together as you slide the throat back. Drink in your breath. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, float the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. Pivot your back heel to the earth. And let's come to extended side angle. So for today, bring your right forearm to your right thigh and start with your left hand on your left hip. You can slide your left hand down to the top of your left thigh as if you're sticking your hands in your pockets and just see what the left thigh feels like. If the left thigh is going way far forward to the long edge of your mat like mine is, can you lift the left thigh up away from the ground? Send your left tush back toward your friend behind you. And now stand down through your left foot as you bend into that right knee and thigh. Picture like you have a paperweight on your right butt cheek. That's the front one. Anchor your right tush towards the earth and then slide the shoulders back and the ears back. You can stay here with your left hand where it is, or you might reach your left arm towards the sky or front of the room. But keep remembering that back thigh. Lift the left thigh up and back. And as you stand heavy through the left leg, bend into that front thigh. Now change nothing in your legs. Reach the left arm back towards the wall behind you. As you inhale, rise, warrior two. Stay for your exhale. Let the front thigh get heavier. Now inhale to just reach your arms to the sky. Bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the back. Let your left fingertips hold on to the elbow. And now grow taller, elbow to the ceiling, and press your head back into the forearm. Slide the ribs back, press your head back. Take a big breath in. Stay for one more exhale as you bend into that right thigh. Now release those arms out to a T. Press the right leg straight. Take a full breath in, get long, and triangle pose. Right fingertips to your block or to the floor, and let's all come to the outside of your right leg for today. Can come as high up on that block as you'd like to give the right side of your body space. But as you feel your feet on the ground, give them a squeeze towards each other. Pull the left foot forward and the right foot back. Now as you press down into the right arm, reach the left fingertips 1 more inch to touch the skylights above you. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then inhale to unwind. Lower the hands. Bend your right knee. And as you plant your palms, take it back to downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment, pedal the heels one at a time, and just see what you feel from one leg to the other. And now for the second side, float the left leg up and back. Step it through or around to catch your lunge. Pivot your back heel to the earth. And for Parsvottanasana, left forearm to the top of the thigh. And if it helped, right hand to the top of your right hip. So this small little action is going to help us in this big bind that we're moving towards today. Can you send the top of your right thigh up and back, almost so you feel the fabric of your right pant leg crinkle? And then as you stand heavy through the right foot, bend into the left thigh and guide your left knee open. Stay here with that right hand or let it reach to the sky or overhead, but keep feeling that right thigh moving up and back. Anchor your left tush towards the ground and slide the ears back to lean back. Take a bigger breath in. Stay for your exhale. And now reach back through the right arm. On your inhale, rise. Virabhadrasana 2. Bend into that front thigh. On your breath, reach just the arms to the sky. Bend the left elbow. Let the right fingertips hold on. Think elbow to the sky. Get as tall as you can. Press your head back to lift your chin. And then slide the ribs back to steady the middle of your back. Take a bigger breath in. Stay for your exhale, lift the elbow up and bend into the left thigh. And now inhale to release those arms to a T. Press the left leg straight. How long can you get? Triangle pose, left hand to your block or to the floor on the outside of that left leg today. Goodness, we'll bring this here. With the left knee and toes pointing straight ahead, give the legs a squeeze towards each other. Pull the feet together and feel that energy run up the ground into your legs. Now press down into the left arm, reach up through the right fingertips, and lean back against yourself. Good. On your next breath, unwind, lower your hands to the ground, plant your palms, take it back to downward facing dog, and see what you feel from one side to the other. From your down dog, wait for the inhale to come forward to plank pose. And on your exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Does everyone have a strap close by? You might use it. You can set it off to a side, unravel it from its little rubber band. And as you come, as you come to lay back down on your belly, we'll take 2 rounds of locust pose. One will be without the strap, and then the second one will add a bind. So once you come all the way down onto the ground, stretch your arms alongside of you and flip your palms down to face the floor. Before we lift up, can you feel both legs on the ground and give them a hug in towards each other? They don't have to touch by any means, but feel them magnetize in. And now shrug your shoulders to your ears, hug the shoulder blades towards each other. As you inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, float your palms up off the earth. And exhale to let the legs float up and away from the ground. As you lift up, try to soften or close your eyes and really listen for your breath. Can you hug those thighs towards each other? Think inner thighs towards the sky. This might clear space in the low back. And now hug the shoulder blades together as you lift your palms 1 more centimeter. Big breath in. And on your exhale, release, lower all the way down. You can make a pillow with your hands, rest on your cheek, rest on your forehead. Maybe you wiggle your tush from side to side, or stay still against the earth. But slow down the next breath in. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. All right, we'll take it one more time. Options, completely up to you. The boundary elephant. You can stay here lying on your belly. We'll meet you there soon. You can do the version we just did with your arms free. Or if you want to add a bind, find your strap. And like a big jump rope, you'll bring the strap to your low back or towards your tush with your hands hip-width distance apart. See if your thumbs can face each other. So if you're holding the strap, feel the hands wide. This will give your chest some space. And now everyone, if you're moving into locust, hug your thighs towards each other. Shrug the shoulder blades together. And now as you inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, float your arms up off the earth, and exhale to let the legs lift up off the ground. Close or soften your eyes and offer it to your breath. Hug those inner thighs towards each other. Lift the inseams of your pants to the sky. And if you have the hold of the strap, try and tug your strap apart. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift your arms 1 more centimeter off your tush. Yes, big breath in. And on your exhale, release, lower down. Ditch the strap, rest on the other cheek, on the other palm. Wiggle your tush around or stay very still. But the more you can breathe here into your belly, the more space you might find in your low back, touching the air above you. The more you breathe into the chest, the more space you might find in the upper back, touching the air above you. But if you're on a cheek or on a palm, just switch sides and take 1 more big breath in and exhale to let all of that breath go. That's it. Come back through center, hands to either side of your chest. Push yourself away from the ground to table or plank pose. And when you're ready, take your time. We'll meet in downward facing dog as you lift your hips to the sky. All right, a few more things to try out. So on your next inhale, float the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. On your inhale, come all the way up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms to the sky. Walk the right foot as much as you need over to the right so you're less on a balance beam, more on train tracks. And now lift that left thigh higher. Stretch up through the fingertips and bend into that front thigh. We'll come up to stand. You can bring your hands to your hips, tiny bend in the back knee, and all the hops you need to spring off your left foot. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Sit your hips back as you reach your chest forward for standing figure 4. Flex that left foot as best as you can to stabilize the ankle and knee. And as you think tush to the back of your mat like chair pose, lift your heart up to the sky. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then inhale to come all the way up to rise. Lower the left foot down. Reach both arms up to the sky. And grab your left wrist with your right hand. Grow up and over to the right for standing crescent on the second side. As you tip to the right-hand side, your hips might sway off center over to the left. But can you slide the ears back to lift your chin? Maybe bring your arms back in line with your ears. And now inhale to come all the way back up. Touch the sky, get tall. And as you exhale, fold and bow in toward yourself. Not quite done. Keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot back to catch your lunge. And now this one's up to you. We'll either meet in pigeon pose or lizard lunge. So you can heel toe your right foot over to the left side of your mat and lower your right knee and shin down onto the ground. But if for any reason pigeon doesn't feel sweet on the knee or on the hip, you bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. But a thigh stretch. So in your lizard lunge or pigeon pose, come up onto your fingertips or blocks out in front. Feel the back knee down and now hug the back knee forward. Bend your back knee to lift the left toes up off the floor. You can stay here with the breath, or the right hand stays down on your block or on the ground as your left hand reaches around to hold the left foot or lasso a strap, or if you're wearing long pants, you can hold the leg of your pants. But draw the left heel towards your left tush. Slide the ribs back and shrug the left shoulder up and back as you look away from the ground. Take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale as you grow tall through the crown of your head. And now inhale to release the hold of your leg. Plant your palms. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Take all the time you need to find your way there. That was a lot on one leg. And so just see what you're working with from side to side. Last round, lift the left leg up and back. Step it through or around to catch your lunge. Slow, steady breath in brings you up to rise for high lunge on the second side. Again, walk that left foot as much as you need to the left. But the steadiness from this pose is going to come from that back leg, the one that you can't see. So lift that right thigh higher. Wrap your right hip forward and the left hip back. As you stretch up through the arms and look away from the ground, take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale as you bend into that front thigh. Now you can keep your arms overhead or maybe they come to your hips, but as we come up to stand, spring off your right foot, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, sit your hips back as you reach your heart forward for pigeon chair on the second side. Flex through that left foot or the right foot, and as you offer it to your breath, take a deep breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale, think hips to the back of your mat as you lift your heart up to the sky. And now inhale to come all the way to rise. Lower the right foot down, feel gravity beneath you, reach up, touch the sky. Grab your right wrist and grow up and over to the left for standing crescent on the second side. Good. As those hips move inches to the right and you lean to the left, feel like someone has their hands on the tops of your ears and they're pulling the ears back so that the chin lifts away from your chest. Maybe you slide your arms back in line with your ears as you tip to the left-hand side. Inhale to come all the way back up, touch the sky, get taller than before, and exhale to fold, bowing in. Last round, left foot forward, right foot steps back to catch your lunge. And now it can be the same or different on the second side. Lizard lunge or pigeon pose as you heel toe that left foot to the right. Ooh, okay. Sweating. So lower the back knee down. I like to be up on blocks because it gives me lots of space through the chest. But whether you're in lizard or pigeon, hug that right knee forward. Wrap your right hip forward and the left hip back. And now bend your right knee to lift the right toes up. Take a few breaths here, or with the left hand down on the floor or on a block, reach your right hand out and around to hold the right foot. They don't have to be anywhere near each other, but feel as if you could draw the right heel towards your right tush. And then slide the ribs back, hug the right shoulder up and back, and now look away from the ground as you take a big breath in, and stay for your exhale to offer that breath out. Now on your inhale, release the hold of your leg. Plant your palms. We meet again in downward facing dog as you lift your hips to the sky. Pedal the heels one at a time. Take a breath or two to notice what you see and feel. And now from your down dog, walk your feet to come as wide as your mat if they're not already. Tiny bend in your knees, and like a little crab, one palm at a time, walk your hands back towards your feet so you fold somewhere at the back of your mat. Soften the knees, let the head be heavy. Your hands might touch the floor in front of your feet, or you might catch opposite elbows. But take a breath or two here to bow in towards yourself. Take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. Now after a few breaths, climb your hands to your hips, stand through your legs, and wait for the inhale to bring you all the way up to rise as you release your hands. Drink some water, shake it out, the air conditioning is on. Doing okay? Comfortably toasty. I want to keep you warm for what we're about to do. And then we'll therapy ball our way down into sleep. But the warmth is helpful. So couple more things. We're coming to Malasana, this low yogic squat. So with your feet nice and wide as your mat, turn your toes out to face the top corners of your mat. You can start by bending your knees and bringing your palms to your thighs. Good. Check to see that your knees, mine always want to knock in. Can you guide your knees open towards your second and third toes? And now think, pubic bone back, like you're sticking your tush all the way back, and you'll feel that curve in and through the low back. Now, as if you had paper weights on your sitting bones, those two bony points at the bottom of your tush, anchor your sitting bones towards the earth. You might feel that low belly fire up. Stay right here, or you might lower your elbows to your thighs, keeping your heels down on the ground. Pubic bone back, sitting bones down as you lift the chest. Stay here, or if you'd like to, you can lower your hips and bring your elbows to the insides of your knees. The thing we want to try and work the pubic bone for is not simply resting here towards the earth. So think pubic bone back, sitting bones down as you lift the chest. Now take a big breath in, a longer breath out. Take one more full, steady breath in through the nose, and exhale to offer that breath out. And now plant your palms on the earth, push through the legs to straighten your knees as you fold and turn your toes forward. One hand at a time, walk your hands to the top of your mat, walk your feet to the back of your mat, and take it back to downward facing dog. Now one more thing to try out, lift your right leg up and back. As you exhale, right knee to nose for core plank, shoulders over the wrists. Can you lift your butt higher, lift your left thigh higher, and into that space, scoop the right thigh 1 more inch forward. Now inhale to extend up and back through the right leg. One more with a twist, right knee to left shoulder. And now watch for your friends and mats around you. Kick your right foot off to the left. Spin your left heel all the way to the ground. We're moving towards fallen triangle. And you can keep both hands on the floor. The higher you lift your hips up, maybe that left arm gets lighter and reaches up to the sky. But push through the feet to lift your hips higher. Slide the shoulders and ears back. And now on your inhale, change nothing in your legs, just lower the left palm down. Lift just your left heel up off the earth. And now as that right leg stays reaching to the left, push through your palms to lift your hips to the sky like you're going to down dog, but that right leg is still reaching to the left-hand side. Take one more breath in, and on your exhale, the exit is pigeon or lizard lunge again. Slide that right knee all the way to the right, I'm cooking. I am very hot. Maybe you are too. But this version, so take 3 breaths here. You can be on your hands, you can lower down onto forearms. Hopefully in that version of revolved triangle, just upside down, you might have felt something on the outside of that right leg. If you didn't, that's okay too. Maybe just sweat. But take a full breath, in, down, and wide. As you exhale, can you unclench your fingers, soften your jaw, and let your tongue be heavy here against the roof of your mouth. Okay, after a few breaths, whenever you're ready, peel yourself back away from the earth. We'll meet in downward facing dog. To do that one more time on the other leg for the last time. All right, from your down dog, on your next inhale, no rush, float the left leg up and back. Left knee to nose for core plank. Can you lift that right thigh higher, lift your butt higher, and into that threshold you've created, scoop the left thigh 2 more inches forward. Now inhale to reach up and back through the left leg. One last time, left knee to right armpit. Now kick the right foot off to the left foot off to the right. Pivot your back heel to the earth. Stay here with your hands on the ground, or the higher you lift your hips up, maybe that right arm reaches to the sky for triangle tipped on its side. Push down through the feet, lift your booty. Push down and forward through the left hand, slide the ears back. And now change nothing in the legs as you lower just the right palm back down. Lift your right heel high up off the earth. And as you push the floor away from you, think butt to the sky as your left leg reaches to the right, noticing what you feel. One more breath in. And the exit strategy when you want is pigeon or lizard lunge. Shimmy that left knee all the way over to the left. 3 deep breaths. Under the sound of your breath, you might start to feel or listen for the beating of your very own heart. It's one of those, the more you look for it, the harder it becomes to find. But let the breath begin to slow itself down, filling the belly, filling up into the heart. And each exhale, letting it be an offering from the inside out through each direction. All right, after a few breaths here, come on back up through center. We'll meet in downward facing dog for a moment longer as you lift your hips to the sky. Pedal the heels one at a time. Take a breath to notice what you feel and see. Now lower your knees to the ground, sit back onto your heels, sip some water, shake it out, take a breath. Nice. Okay, I realized I forgot to tell you what pose. I don't often do it, but for this pose, I like to do it, but I forgot. So we're here. We're making our way towards a big old bind that it's called Vishwamitrasana, and it's an arm balance. It's a side body opener. It's a hamstring opener. It's everything all in one put together. And the reason why there's going to be infinite variations that we try out. We'll do it twice on the right, twice on the left, and then therapy ball our way into sleep. But the reasons why binds, I like to teach binds during the month of Ganesh stories is because he, yes, is the remover of obstacles, just as he is the obstacle himself. And when we do binds in our practice, there's a metaphor that one of our philosophy teachers, Douglas Brooks, told us, is that when you bind yourself exquisitely to yourself in order to reveal something even greater. So what that means is when you're binding, like this shoulder stretch we did as a bind, a version of this is a bind, what we're about to do is a bind, you're choosing to intentionally create less space than there was before so that you can find where there is more room to grow from, where you can find more breath to emerge from. So Ganesh, yes, he is the remover of obstacles. He's the one who you're like, please, I have a test tomorrow. Let my teacher not figure out that I'm cheating. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But the idea is he is the remover of obstacles just as he is the obstacle himself. So the metaphor is you are the remover of the obstacles that are in your own way, just as you are your own greatest obstacle in order to get through what it is that you need to get through. So binds are a way in which we can try and find where there is more space, where there might not have been before. I'm saying a lot of stuff to give you a break. There's method behind the madness. I'm going to show you what we'll try out first side. I'll talk you through it, and then I'll show you what the other option is, just so you can decide what you'd like to do. So for this first one, we'll do it with the knees down on the ground. And again, I'll show and talk you through it in a second. And we'll set up in tabletop. Let me do the other leg. Keep myself even. So you'll have all of your props available if you'd like to use them. I love to use them. And you come to table. You step one foot in between your hands like lunge, and then spin your back heel so it becomes like a kickstand. Now, once this hand comes down onto the block or floor, you can bring your hand up onto your hip. This is extended side angle, just with your back knee happening to be down on the ground. So the bus stop one, I'll give you different stages where you really get to decide. You can stay here the whole time. It's a beautiful side body stretch. You push your arm into your leg and leg into arm, so your chest can revolve open to the sky. You might feel that all the way down in your low back, or even in this front hip, So stay here. Or the next stage is you find your strap and you lasso it around that foot. So one hand holds both edges of the strap. And now as you lean into your block or the hand, this foot might start to get lighter up off the ground. The first thing that I'll talk you through is moving towards pigeon pose. So it's drawing the knee towards your armpit. You see how this is pigeon? This front leg here? Okay, good. You draw the knee towards your armpit, and then maybe this leg extends straight ahead towards your friend in front of you. Then give yourself as much slack on the strap as you like to sweep this leg overhead towards the front of the room. You're binding yourself to see what reveals itself to you. Can you turn your chest open to the sky to create more space than there was before? Yeah? And then when you come out, lower the knee. Someone in class yesterday did this beautiful variation, which I loved, where the heel didn't come off the ground. Gave himself so much slack on the strap, turn the chest open to the sky, and you get this big QL stretch and a big stretch through the side of your body. We love to see it. So the idea is you go to the place, or you explore the place. You are the keeper of your own boundaries. We get to practice here and decide what we want to do. So if we're lucky, we get to hold that integrity when we leave. So if anything you saw of what I just did, immediately you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Please don't. There's no obligation. Here, here, here. We're going to be there very soon. So you take what you need. Yeah? Let me talk you through the first side. If you want to try it out, I'll give you places to stop. You can also observe, take anything that you need. But if you're coming into this version of Vishwamitrasana, find your way to tabletop, maybe with blocks close by, maybe a blanket underneath your knees if you'd like some extra cushion. You can use this one. And have your strap handy. Now from table, step your right foot in between your hands to catch your lunge. Spin your left back heel over to the right, like a kickstand. That's it. And now lean into your right hand and bring your left hand to your hip as you open up towards the flat wall side of the room. Stay here for a few breaths with your right hand down on the block or on the floor outside of your right foot. Push your foot into your leg, push your arm into your leg into arm, and now reach the left arm to the sky or overhead towards the front of the room. Feel the length that you create through the left side of your waist. And now if you so desire and you want to explore, look down at your right foot, find your strap, and with just your left hand, lasso the right foot with your strap. Your left hand holds both edges of the strap, and your right palm stays down on the floor. Now lean into your right hand, and maybe your left foot gets lighter. Think pigeon pose. Draw the left knee towards your left, or the right knee towards your right armpit, and then straighten your right leg towards your friend straight in front of you. Then maybe you bend your left elbow just enough to sweep that right foot forward towards the front of the room. And maybe your belly turns open to the sky. Wahoo! When you don't want to do it anymore, slowly release the hold of your foot, bend your right knee, and take it back to tabletop. Okay. Yeah? No? Questions? Thoughts? Yes? Can take this one. That one, thigh scale. Either one, doesn't matter. Any questions before we do the second side? Everyone find a variation they want to explore? You get that big side body stretch in the top arm? Yes?
Are your hips over your knees?
Great question. If you didn't hear that question in the back, are your hips over your knees? Ish. So the idea, it's a few things. When we did that extended side angle, the reason why I was so heavy on this back leg is because this is where your stability is going to come from. The best, like if I wasn't on the mat and didn't have any resistance, this knee would be slip sliding away from the floor. So what you're trying to do with this back leg is hug the knee forward, send the top of this thigh back. So front angle, it's like the hips are slightly in front of it, but not so far in front that it's sliding out. Because forget about how high this leg can go. This leg won't be able to go anywhere if the back leg is slip sliding out of the way. So the idea is how much can you secure the threshold, hug the knee forward, send the thigh back so that this front leg has room to move around in. Yeah? Back thigh. Back thigh. Let's try the other side. When you're ready, tabletop, take a breath to let yourself arrive, and then left foot in between your hands to catch your lunge. Spin your right heel to the left like a kickstand, and with your left hand on the block or on the floor, climb your right hand to your right hip. Open up to the brick wall side of the room. Shrug both shoulder blades together. Slide the ears back. And then stay here or reach the right arm up to the sky or overhead to enjoy that side body length in the right side of your waist. If you'd like, you can look down to the ground, find your strap, and lasso the left foot into the strap, holding just the right hand. With the right hand holding both edges of the strap, lean into that left hand on the ground or on the block. And now hug the right thigh forward and back. You might bend your left knee, draw your left knee towards your left armpit. Maybe you straighten your left leg towards your friend in front of you. And with that leg straight, you might give yourself enough slack on the strap to reach that left foot forward as you turn your belly open to the sky. Whee! On an inhale, slowly release. When you're ready, the hold of your leg. Plant your palms, take it back to tabletop. Maybe a few rounds of cat and cow, or a few breaths in child's pose, or a sip or two of water. Take what you need here. Okay, because we're here already and warm, and after this we will do all the counter poses to wind down, I'll show you one more option of what we can explore. So the one with the back knee down that we just did, neither is easier, but the back knee down gives you something else to touch the floor so it gets a little less wobbly. This next version that we're trying is with the back knee not on the ground, with a few parts that we've done together. Do you mind if I use your strap really quickly? Thank you. So this looks like this. So we were here before in down dog 1,000,001 times. This time, you'll bring your dog a smidge shorter than it was before. And now one of your legs lift. You draw the knee towards your armpit like we did in that core plank. And pivot your back heel all the way to the ground like warrior two. Now lean into that hand to lift this foot up off the earth. And then perhaps you find your strap and lasso it around your right foot. Pigeon, knee to armpit. This will create space in and through the hip. Then once you find pigeon, lift the back thigh up and back, up and back, up and back to give this front leg room to maybe reach ahead. Maybe it reaches forward towards the front of your mat as you turn your chest open to the sky. The exit, pigeon or lizard lunge. If you saw that, and you were like, I've done what I need to do. I want to not do that. Please don't. You can do the knee down version that we just did. You can be in pigeon or lizard lunge the whole time and get a hip opener there. We're going to meet you there. You can. You can do anything you like. You can also lay down because we'll meet you there very soon, right after this. Yeah? Thank you. Does everyone have something they want to work on? Yeah? So many choices, so little time. So if you'd like to move towards this version of Vishwamitrasana, I'll talk you through that. For those that are doing anything else, take this time to work at your pace. So if you're coming into Vishwamitra, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Take a breath or two here to arrive. And now walk your feet an inch or two closer towards your wrists. Lift the right leg up and back. Draw your right knee to your left armpit and pivot your left heel all the way down to the ground like warrior two. Now lean into your right hand. Use your left hand to lasso the strap around your right foot. Pigeon, right knee to the right armpit once the foot is in. And now lift the back thigh up and back, up and back, up and back, up and back. And then maybe you straighten the right leg to your friend in front of you. Maybe you bend the left elbow enough to sweep that right arm overhead or the right leg overhead as you turn your belly to the sky. Wahoo! When you do not want to do it any longer, we meet in pigeon pose. Slowly release the right heel. Lower, slide the right knee to the right side of your mat and lower all the way to the earth. 3 full, steady breaths. Nicole, how do you feel doing it yesterday and today? Are we alive? Are we aware? I'm surviving. Yes.
Like, I feel like sometimes my arms are a little too short and from the ground. Like, I feel like I'm not having enough space. Should I bring a block there, or is that unstable?
I think block at its lowest height. Yeah, platform shoe block. That'll help. And then squeezing that block. Yeah. Okay. One last side. After a few breaths, take it back to downward facing dog. For those of us that are new to each other, I don't often, this is not a pose that I teach often. I do it once in March, and for some reason I do it now, and no one has come up to me after class and told me not to do it. So I take no offense if you're like, this was not it. There's a great class before mine. There's great classes tomorrow. I fully understand, but we will not do this again next week. So from your down dog, walk your feet a smidge closer towards your wrists. Lift the left leg up and back. Left knee to the right armpit as you pivot your right heel to the floor fully. Now lean into your left hand. Use your right hand to lasso a strap around your left foot. And now pigeon, left knee to your left armpit and lift the back thigh up and back, up and back. Stand through that back leg as you straighten the left leg towards the brick wall. Maybe you bend your right elbow so much that the left leg sweeps forward towards the front of the room. Turn the belly and chest to the sky, beautiful. And when you don't want to do it anymore, straighten the back leg. Lower down into pigeon, that's it, yes. Yeah. Whew. Pigeon, lizard lunge, 3 steady breaths to call yourself back to yourself. Slow down your next inhale and really offer every ounce of your exhale out. After you've taken a few breaths here on the earth, come back up through table. We'll meet in hands and knees. And one final downward facing dog, just to clear some space in and through the low back. In your down dog, walk your feet a smidge wider than they already are. Lift your heels high and soften your knees to let the backs of your legs release. And now stick your tush up and back to the wall behind you. Create space through the low back. You can keep the knees bent, or you might straighten the legs as you press the thighs back and let the heels get heavy. Take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. And now lower your knees down onto the ground. Come to lie on your back with your head up to the front of your mat and your feet to the wall behind you. Have your therapy balls close by. If anyone needs some, once you lay down, you can raise a hand and call me or Kale over to bring you some. And have one of your blocks within a grabbable distance too, just so you don't have to get up until we have to leave. Oh, thank you. I'm like not. So therapy balls, a block, as you come to lie on your back. Perfect. And now bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor. Let your arms rest on your person or alongside of you as you take a big breath in. And on your exhale, drop your knees to the right for a breath. Inhale to bring the knees up through center. And exhale to let both knees drop to the left. Do that one more time from side to side, just at your pace. Move with the breath. Let the belly be soft and full. Let the chest be soft. Let the back of your head be heavy. And now the next time you draw your knees and feet back through center, bend your knees again, feet on the floor. We'll take a few rounds of breath in supported bridge to call ourselves back down. So as you find your block, shrug your shoulders to your ears, wiggle your shoulder blades together, and now press through your feet to lift your hips up and slide a block to its lowest or second lowest height underneath your butt. Nice, so just one and then under the tush, yeah. You can keep your arms where they are. They might rest on your body. They might rest long on either side of you. But we'll be here for 5 deep breaths. Can you shrug your shoulders towards your ears, snuggle the shoulder blades towards each other, And let the back of your head gently press into the earth to lift your chin away from your chest. Let there be space for breath to come through. The beauty of this practice is that it teaches us to pace ourselves. We move through poses that create more heat, more intensity. And after, we ask to call ourselves back down to earth. So as you listen for your breath, take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Can you soften your jaw? Let your tongue peel away from the roof of your mouth. Let the back of your head be heavy here against the ground. And now press through your feet to lift your hips just enough to pop that block out from underneath your tush as you lower your hips to the earth. Bring your feet as wide as your mat, knock your knees into one another, and let your hands rest on your belly or on your chest. Take a full breath into those hands. Let it fill you up. And exhale to let all of that breath go. Now I'll talk us through some therapy ball work in the upper back. A few options. If there's any region that you prefer, that you'd like to work on your own, you're more than welcome to take this time to do so. You can also set up early for rest, because we'll meet you there very soon after. But if you'd like to do that therapy ball work in the upper back, find your therapy balls. You can keep them in their tote or take them out. But as you lift your head and shoulders up off the ground, pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades to either side of your spine. There's no incorrect or wrong place for them to go. Just let them be in a place where you can be curious about, where you can breathe in. And now you can bring your head to the earth, or if you'd like to alleviate some pressure, bring your head up onto that block like a pillow to be in the place where your breath can be full and steady. Let your arms fall anywhere they fall as you take a big breath in through the nose and exhale out through parted lips to let every ounce of that breath go. Let the exhales be long and steady into the earth. And the heavier you let your upper back become, the more the therapy balls nestle into the fibers of the back of your heart. You can stay right here for a few breaths, or if you'd like to explore any newfound places, bend your knees, bring your feet on the ground, and push through your feet just enough to roll your body towards your head so those therapy balls come down to the middle of your shoulder blades, slightly lower than where they just were. Head on the floor or head on a block as you take a big breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let all of that breath go. You might keep your arms here heavy on the earth or alongside of you. Or perhaps you reach your arms slowly up towards the sky and begin to move them around like seaweed in water, leaning from one shoulder to the other as slowly as you need, and really offering it to your breath. Take one more deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through your nose or parted lips. And now one more time as you release your arms down by your sides. Stay here or press through your legs to roll your body north until those therapy balls come south to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, slightly lower than where they just were. Once you find this third new region, with your head and tush heavy, take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. We'll make that exit journey the same way we entered. So when you're ready, if you have any blocks underneath you, slowly release them out of the way. And begin to scooch your hips towards your heels so you roll yourself towards the back of your mat. You can also roll to one side and push the therapy balls out of the way. But however they exit, do let them completely exit for the remainder of rest. For sometimes they create more tension than softness. But the next place we'll meet is making your way towards rest, towards Shavasana. So give yourself a moment or two to add or remove any layers or props. You might let your hair down. You might let glasses set off to the side safely. And as you make your way into your pose of rest, if there's anything you can do to become even 1% more comfortable than you are already, please feel free to take it. And know that as we lay here against the earth, you're more than welcome to shift or move or adjust as you soften towards the earth. But wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely. And exhale through your nose to let all of that breath go. Take that once again. Inhale through the nose, fill your belly up into the chest. And exhale to let all of that breath out. One last time, a deep breath in. Sniff in more at the top. And as you exhale, let all of that breath go. Let each soft and quiet breath gently dissolve the practice that was. Each breath lets you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after makes space for what has yet to come. So as you drape yourself here onto the altar of the earth, in the threshold between class and rest, can you let each round of your breath let you become heavier into the earth? And the heavier you let yourself become, the more expansive, the lighter, the more spacious you may just begin to feel. begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Take another breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, offer that breath up and out through each direction. Let the breath that you have begin to awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that just feels sweet to you. You might slowly roll your wrists or ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head from side to side, heavy against the earth. Or just watching for neighbors and props around you. You might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, we'll all meet with the knees bent, arms overhead, as you roll over to any side of your choice to curl into yourself. Take a breath or two here against the earth, and when the time comes, push down into the ground to rise to a tall seat, the same way we began. With those eyes softly closed or softly open, can you once again listen for your breath? Take a deep breath in, down, and wide. And exhale to offer the breath up and out through every fiber of your being. We'll finish our time together with one more of those same breaths. You can place your hands to anywhere that feels like center for you. Take a deep breath in to let it all go. You might bow your head to your hands or gently lift your hands towards your head in such a simple and sweet gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to each other who practiced right alongside next to you. And with all of our hearts, Kale and I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being together. Thank you for coming, making space for each other. Drink lots of water. Take care of yourselves tonight, tomorrow, till the end of time. And just a few announcements while you're setting up. There's some wipes here at the studio if you'd like to wipe any props you used or mats. Saturdays, I've been teaching. This past Saturday, I taught at the Art Museum in the Sculpture Garden from 9 to 10. It's free. It was so sweet. There was like 80 people that came. It's beautiful. The views are incredible. And it would be, if you're free, it's so sweet to see familiar faces. So come through and you get $10 off to the museum that day, so you can make a little day of it. My beloved Adriana and I are starting immersion and teacher training at the end of September, where we do a lot of mythology, anatomy, storytelling, and so much good stuff. So if you have questions about it, feel free to find either one of us. And this is not yoga related, but some of you guys have seen my dad. When he practices, he's coming back, and he's putting on a concert at Studio 34 on October 13th. It's going to be the sweetest thing on earth. He's going to play the tabla and the flute, and his friend Manoj is going to play the harmonium and sing classical Indian songs and Bollywood songs. It's donation-based. It's going to be he put the show on in my house a couple of weeks ago, and it was just so delightful. So if that's up your alley, if you want to cross the river and go through the woods, I'll tell you when it's closer to the date, but sweet things happening. Anything going on with you? There's lots of teachers in the room who are teaching weekly classes or workshops or things that you know of. The Fringe is happening. Go see it. Are we seeing anything? Uncommon Ground is... Oh! Yay! I feel like this is so helpful because there's almost 400 performances, and I'm like, I want to see them all, but I need a curated list. Yeah. Isn't your friend in the ballerina one? Yes. We Instagram.
Oh,
Yes, because he came to the cello class.
Yes, he did, yeah. No,
So fun.
he started ballet
Oh my God.
when he turned 40, and it's kind of like about that, plus like...
I
his
love
past,
his
like-
content.
yeah, oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Wow.
He's a great guy.
Oh,
You should check it out again.
I'm going to. Thank you. That's right. I did see that. Oh, so sweet. Oh, the other thing that's happening, feel free to tune me out, but my friends Fanny and a group of people have started Fishadelphia, PA. It's the CSA Direct Ocean to, I'm so bad at advertising this, but they're having an opening event this Saturday where my friend Neil has taken photos at 19th and Vine. It's free. I'm going to be there. They just talked about it on NPR. I'm just excited. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going, so if you need something to do on Saturday, you should check that out too. Every Saturday for all of September, 9 to 10.
Sunday?
Saturday. Did I say Sunday?
Yeah.
I meant Saturday.
No, she said Saturday.
Did I say Saturday? 9 to 10.